Hello, listeners. Welcome to another edition of Bookie Bashing Week 13 NFL season coming at you. Very excited to give you these 5 NFL Sunday locks. I hope you had a great Thanksgiving out there. As always, I'm your host, Anthony Nikki Jr., alongside my conspirators. Ace, how was your holiday?
The holiday was great, Tony. We gave back to our listeners with a 3-0 Thursday. It's really what the holiday is about, and to me, I got my stuffing, and that's what my holiday's about.
Yeah, he's come to the studio the last 2 days with stuffing. I'm sure I'm going to be saying that through Christmas.
Well, you know, the family listens to the broadcast, heard how much I like the stuffing. Literally everybody brought me stuffing. Tony, I got catering trays of stuffing in my house.
Yeah, then am I right? Joey Staxxx, I know you had a great holiday. Hit some parlays, I'm sure. Made action all over that board.
Parlayed them, I bet them straight up. I did alternate lines. I made a lot of money, bottom line. And I had my leg. Beautiful turkey leg. I really dug into that sucker. Yeah, it was good. Told him to hold the cranberry sauce, though. There's nothing better than having his juiced up bank account, rolling into Sunday, getting ready to make some more money on Sunday. I don't know. I might make 50 grand this week.
I mean, it's easy enough saying that. I mean, we haven't had a losing week in over 6 weeks, so it's been easy money here. But either way, it feels great to start Week 13 with a 3-0 start. Easy money on Thanksgiving. You could enjoy the time with the family, spend time with the kids, the grandkids. You didn't even have to look at the scores because these were such dead mortal locks. Over Chicago-Detroit, we were cruising in that one by halftime. Philadelphia Eagles, +3 on the road, outright winner by double digits against Dallas. Road dog again in the nightcap. Seattle cruising against San Francisco, who couldn't even move the ball. Easy money, 3-0 card. We told you it was coming. Now we're going to tell you it's coming again. We're coming at you with a 5-0 Sunday card. We love this action. If you've been waiting around, I don't know what you're waiting for. The numbers don't lie. We continue to make money here at Bookie Bashing. I don't want to waste any more time. Let's continue to hit them. Start them off at the top. Week 13 NFL season coming at you.
New Orleans at Pittsburgh.
Going to open up this Week 13 card with a game we absolutely love. Heading out to Pittsburgh as the Steelers come off the bye week to take on a New Orleans Saints team that is really trending in the wrong direction. And I think they continue to trend that way in a tough contest on the road. Saints come in 4-9 against the spread in their last 13 road games. And a team that normally excels at home, puts up big points, is coming off of 3 straight home losses. This Saints offense is just not what it was in years past. Where is Marcus Colston? This guy has not existed all season. Jimmy Graham is a little bit banged up in the slot. Drew Brees is just not having targets to throw to. Now they have to head into the elements, into Pittsburgh, where the Steelers just play so well. Steelers coming off of a bye week where they had extra time to prepare for the Saints passing attack. And before that bye week, they had 2 tough road games, in Tennessee, in New York, where they split. But prior to that, they were at home for 3 games, and they rolled in all 3, beating up on Baltimore, Indy, and Houston. This Steelers team just puts up points at home, with Ben Roethlisberger having so many weapons, and Le'Veon Bell, and Antonio Brown on the outside. This team just puts up huge points, and the defense plays so strong at home. I think this Steelers team is going to cruise to victory here. 8-3 against the spread in their last 11 home games. They come back to the friendly confines of Heinz Field and take advantage of a Saints team that just does not play well on the road.
Yeah, Saints haven't looked very good at home, let alone on the road. And they face a tough Pittsburgh Steelers team coming off of a bye, who's been very determined, and every position is really clicking. Everybody looks good, seems comfortable. Ben Roethlisberger with a couple career games this year. I just love what they got going on in Pittsburgh there. The receivers for these New Orleans Saints, a strong point in years past, just haven't looked right. Jimmy Graham, not the Jimmy Graham that we all know. Kenny Stills can't catch a football. We got Marcus Colston, as Tony said, has been absolutely a ghost. The guy hasn't had any big games. Gonna definitely roll with these Pittsburgh Steelers at home to get a double-digit victory.
Yeah, guys, this is a matchup between 2 stellar quarterbacks in Drew Brees and Big Ben Roethlisberger. And when you break down the numbers, everybody thinks it's going to be a real offensive war. That the New Orleans offense that puts up over 26 points a game is really going to be able to compete with the Pittsburgh offense. But here's the problem, guys. Drew Brees just doesn't have the weapons around him. Jimmy Graham is hurt right now. While he's still playing all right, our sources tell us that he is still in a lot of pain. And the Pittsburgh offense, when they're at home, puts up over 35 points a game. Ben Roethlisberger is having a career-reviving year as he's the 5th leading passer in the whole NFL, and he's loving being able to turn around, hand the ball off to the 3rd leading rusher in the NFL, and then drop back and throw it to the 2nd leading receiver in the NFL. He has his weapons around him, and his offensive line is keeping him up straight now, which is allowing him to complete a much higher percentage of his passes. I just do not believe at the end of the day, once this New Orleans offense gets into the elements of Pittsburgh, that they're going to be able to keep up with Ben Roethlisberger and these big targets. So we're going to go ahead and just roll the Steelers, guys.
Yeah, love these Steelers. Coming back home here after a bye week, think they shut down that New Orleans offense. You're going to see a lot of points coming on the scoreboard for the Steelers. Take Pittsburgh here. They cruise by double digits, 34-20 final.
New York at Jacksonville.
Got some value here in this second play. We're getting a lines maker error here. Jacksonville Jaguars at home getting the 3 points. G-Men coming in. Going to ride these Jaguars all day to get an outright winner here. Giants come in as a depleted squad here, offensively and defensively. In the secondary receiver corps, injuries all over the place. And this is a Giants squad that came into the season with high expectations, high hopes to compete for the NFC East title, maybe make another Super Bowl run. But realistically, it's going the opposite way. Eli Manning, another down season. Tom Coughlin probably out the door next year. Giants have been bad. 1-4 against the spread in the last 5 road games. 1-5 against the spread in the last 6 games overall. I think they kind of turned it off, especially after last week. They controlled the entire game at home on Sunday Night Football, and Tony Romo and company comes back and takes the game from them at the end. I just don't think this Giants team should be laying 3 points anywhere, even if it is only against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Public all over these Giants. I don't understand why. When I see 78% of the public on the G-Men when they're laying points on the road, I'm going to go the other way all day. It's too good a value not to. Jaguars come in having covered in 4 of the last 5 meetings head-to-head against the Giants. I think Blake Bortles, Marquise Lee, a lot of rookies still have something to prove. Denard Robinson wants to make a name for himself, wants to be the main guy next year. He's got to continue to have big games in order to do that. I think the Jaguars just have a little bit more motivation to play for, whereas the Giants, so disappointed in the season, so depleted with injuries. I think that veteran squad really starting to turn things off. Take these Jaguars getting the 3 at home. They give us an outright winner.
This game is truly a battle of the bums, folks. But there is a ton of value in these games if you really look close enough into them. I get the Jacksonville Jaguars offense has not been spectacular. Blake Bortles looks like he struggles at times, and other times can put together some alright things, but at no point has he just been outstanding this year. And I think that's alright, I think he's just developing. But having said that, he is putting up more points when he is at home. This Jaguars offense is really starting to click a little bit more now that Denard Robinson is turning himself into a pretty decent NFL running back. And when you look at this Giants defense, they are really just beat down, guys. They're giving up almost 30 points a game when they're on the road, and over the last 5 games, they're giving up even more points. And when you go back and look at the Giants' schedule, you see some of the toughest teams in the NFL. San Fran, Seattle, Indianapolis, Dallas twice, Philadelphia. It's no wonder that they lost 6 games, and that really affected their mentality and really beat them down physically. I don't think that they have enough left in the tank to get up for a Jacksonville Jaguars team who's still trying to prove that they're not as bad as everybody thinks they are. I love the Jaguars getting points at home here, so we're going to roll Jags, guys.
Yeah, I like the spot here for this young Jacksonville Jaguar team. They got a lot of young, hungry receivers. Denard Robinson, the running back, trying to make a name for himself, like Ace just said. Bortles going to be able to manage a good game here. And this Giants team has just looked absolutely horrible. Defensively, allowing a ton of points. Offensively, not protecting Eli Manning. The receiver, other than Odell Beckham coming out last week, putting on a show, there hasn't been too much going on for that receiving corps. A couple of bang-up running backs, they're starting to get healthy and coming along, but I don't like what we got in these New York Giants. And they're on the road here, playing, like I said, a determined, young, hungry Jacksonville Jaguar team who sees a very winnable game in front of them, and that's exactly what they're going to do. They're going to go ahead and win this game and roll with the Jets.
Yeah, love what Staxxx said there, because I think the Jaguars, this young squad, sees a victory opportunity here. I think they're going to pounce on that. Might not be the prettiest thing in the world. Jacksonville gets it done, though. Take the 3 points at home, 23-20 final.
Washington at Indianapolis.
This Indianapolis Colts team just seems to continue to improve as this season goes on. That's exactly the reason we're going to take them, laying the 10 points at home here. Washington Redskins come in. Redskins have been horrible as of late. It's not a secret to anybody. 2-6 against the spread in their last 8 games overall. change now at quarterback. RG3's out. You're bringing Colt McCoy, who is truly a backup quarterback in the NFL. And although he led them to that Monday night victory in Dallas in a good spot and all, this team is a little bit down. Redskins, another team, thought they would compete for an NFC title. Instead, RG3 has not been healthy. They've looked horrible in offense, have not been able to score, and these Colts just score at will. And now Washington's coming in trying to kickstart things with a new quarterback. I just don't think it's going to work or help out that offense. Colts come in 7-2 against the spread in their last 9 games overall. 19-7 against the spread in their last 26 home games. They do great getting the job done at home. I think Andrew Luck is going to put up huge numbers in this one on that turf. Expect this Indy team to easily cruise into the 30s here, as there's just too many weapons for this Washington team to slow down. Colts know that they have to get a win here, want to continue to step on that gas pedal and pull away from the Houston Texans in the AFC South. I don't think Washington here is going to be able to contend. Take the Colts double-digit victory.
Guys, I'm not going to dive too deep into the Washington Redskins on this game, because right now they are abysmal. Their franchise quarterback seemed to disintegrate in front of our eyes, guys. RG3 went from being in the conversation of better than Andrew Luck to now not starting over Colt McCoy. Just let that sink in a second. Most people think in the 3 games that Colt McCoy has played, he's been pretty decent, and some of his numbers has shown that. The biggest problem for him in this weekend's matchup is that he only has 1 touchdown pass in all of those games, guys. Now he's going up against Andrew Luck, who almost has 30 so far this season, and let me tell you, he's not going to slow down for this Washington Redskins defense that's really just getting torched by everybody. This Colts offense, who's 4th in the league in points, 1st in the league in yards, and 1st in the league in passing yards per game, are just going to dominate this defense that's banged up and really isn't that good to begin with. Jake Gruden's going to have a hard time this week in Indianapolis, really trying to come up with a game plan to stop guys like T.Y. Hilton, Reggie Wayne. Even Colby Fleener has been pretty good this year, and most people might be surprised to learn that he's tied with T.Y. Hilton in the amount of touchdowns that they have. So I love the Colts to just roll over these Washington Redskins that are just stuck between a rock and a hard place.
I love this Colts team, and I love them even more against a Washington Redskins team on the road with a backup quarterback going in there. Redskins haven't done anything all season between the health issues with RG3 and all the other problems they got going on. I just love this spot here for the Colts. The Colts offense has looked great on the other side of the football. Andrew Luck and all his receivers, losing Bradshaw obviously is going to hurt him a little bit, but they have guys fully capable of stepping up. Trent Richardson is going to start pounding that ball a little bit more. Like Tony mentioned, the Heron guy, he has looked good. He stepped up to fill that spot. I just really can't see this Washington Redskins team hanging in there and scoring with these Indianapolis Colts, because we know that they're going to be scoring some points. Take the Colts, lay the 10, and watch them cruise in this one here.
Yeah, Indy beats the hell out of bad teams. If I look at last week's game, I had the Jags coming off of a bye going in there. Indy did not play well at all. Turned the ball over a lot, still got me a 20-point victory. If they play well, even half decent, they are going to roll out these Washington Redskins. We expect that to happen completely here. Take them double-digit winner, 34-13 final.
Arizona at Atlanta.
Coming at you with another home underdog in this one. We're going to take these Atlanta Falcons plus the 2 points at home, as they're going to get us an outright winner with these Arizona Cardinals coming in. Public, early on, all over the Cardinals. 71% on them. I see why. 9-2 squad. Public's a little skewed by the record there. Falcons, 4-7. I know it's a abysmal NFC South this season, but either way, they're in first place, and they control their own destiny. They know if they win out, they're going to be in the playoffs. So I know they are coming out playing hard at home this weekend. Falcons in years past have been a great home team in that dome. The offense puts up huge numbers. This year, of course, only 2-3 so far, but I'm going to bet they get back to 500 and not fall to 2-4 in a game they absolutely have to have. Matt Ryan still has some weapons offensively. Julio Jones in there, a top wide receiver. I got Roddy White on the other side. I'm solid still on offense. The defense has struggled. Good news for us, this Arizona Cardinals team is not the same squad when they were led by Carson Palmer. Drew Stanton, a different quarterback, has a lot of problems leading this offense to points. In his last 2 games, 2 huge games against Detroit and against Seattle, Arizona's put up 14 points and 3 points. I don't expect them to put up big numbers this week, even against a weak Atlanta defense. I think Drew Stanton's obviously a backup quarterback, and they're going to try to lean heavily on Andre Ellington. I don't think that's going to work. I think Arizona's in a tough spot here, as they had to get up for 2 huge games in the last 2 weeks. Now this is kind of a letdown spot for them, having to head on the road to take on these Falcons. Love Atlanta here to get a game they have to win. I think somebody in the NFC South has to take the wheel and get some wins here, start to take control of that division. Take the Falcons to get a big home win in this one.
Yeah, love the spot here for the Atlanta Falcons as the division is up for grabs. They're facing a Arizona Cardinals team who just got exposed last week. Now they're on the road. Drew Stanton proved to be exactly what he is, and that's a backup quarterback. They don't have a ton of firepower out there. Andre Ellington runs the ball well. The receiving core, they need a quarterback to get the ball there, and Drew Stanton's not their guy. On the other side of the football, we have a ton of firepower as Matt Ryan can really sling that rock, and he's got his stud wide receivers in Julio Jones and Roddy White. This is a game they're definitely going to need if they want to stay in contention here, and they know that, so they're going to go ahead and really bear down and try and tighten everything up, try and limit it to the run, and contain Andre Ellington from running all over him. Mike Smith's going to call a good game here, and they're going to dial up a victory in the Georgia Dome.
Folks, do you hear that? It's the Seattle Seahawks quickly approaching taking the lead of this division away from these Arizona Cardinals. The Seahawks are right behind the Cardinals, and I think that this is going to be one of the pivotal games in the downward spiral that I believe is the second half of this Cardinals season. If you look at the numbers, the Cardinals offense has just never wowed us this year. In fact, most of their wins were only because the defense stepped up and made a lot of big plays to get the job done. The Cardinals offense only puts up about 22 points a game. When they're on the road, they put up 2 points less than that, and when they're on turf, they put up 2 points less than even that. And on the flip side of the ball, Matty Ice and this Falcons offense puts up over 32 points when they are at home. Matt Ryan proves that he is one of the best quarterbacks when he's in that dome with all of his targets healthy, and I think that this weekend is going to prove that when he faces an Arizona team that, has looked pretty good this season, but just squeaked out a lot of those wins. I truly see the Falcons not only competing this weekend, but really controlling the majority of the game. The running game has been better for them, and the defense has been creating more pressure. I really think that those two factors are going to be big in the Falcons getting an outright win this Sunday.
Yeah, I think the Falcons take a little bit of a stranglehold this Sunday on a weak NFC South division. They get the win. New Orleans gets a loss. They gain a game in that one. As this Arizona offense just isn't the same, I think they're going to start downward trending now. Take Atlanta here, plus the 2 points at home. They give us an outright winner, 24-13 final.
Denver at Kansas City.
Going to finish this Week 13 card on Sunday night, prime time. Going to take another home dog, Kansas City Chiefs in Arrowhead, plus the 1.5 points. Take them, get us an outright winner versus these Denver Broncos. Public all over the Broncos early, 63% on them. I see why. Peyton Manning and company, great squad. Obviously a Super Bowl contender, but this Broncos team is currently not clicking on all cylinders. Julius Thomas was hurt last week. Not sure if he's definitely going to be playing. Wes Welker really has been non-existent so far this year, and the defense just gave up 36 last week to a Miami Dolphins team that I didn't think knew how to play outside of warm weather. The week before that, in St. Louis, Broncos had that loss where the offense couldn't get it going. As Peyton Manning dropped only 7 points, they got beat by 15. Now, they head to Arrowhead, where this Chiefs team had just been solid. Covered 4 in a row at home. 5 of 6 games overall, and the public just loves to go against them when they're at home. Look at the last time the public was against them at home. Seattle coming into Arrowhead. Kansas City beat them outright by 4. New England going into Arrowhead. We want them 41-14. I see these Chiefs having another game like that. Public all over the Broncos, and the Chiefs come out, surprise everybody. Jamal Charles is going to pound the football. They will control the clock the entire game, and Peyton Manning will be forced to make the most out of the limited amount of possessions that he gets. Problem for that is this Kansas City Chiefs defense is very tough, especially at home. The last home games, they've given up 20 points, 10 points, 7 points, and 14 points. I don't see them having a problem shutting down a Broncos offense that just is not clicking as well as they usually are at this point in the season. Take the Chiefs here to get a big home victory, make that division even more confusing than it already is. I love Kansas City and Arrowhead on Sunday night.
Yeah, folks, when you study the numbers of this game, you truly need to read in between the lines to figure out where the smart money is. And when you dig into the numbers, you truly see that the Kansas City Chiefs are where the smart money is at. Now, the Denver Broncos not only have the second most passing yards per game in the NFL, but they also allowed the second least rushing yards per game in the NFL. So you'd think that the Denver Broncos were a good pick to shut down a Kansas City offense that doesn't necessarily have the best weapons. I want to go back on the Denver Broncos allowing the second fewest rushing yards per game, because that truly is a result on teams abandoning the running game and trying to keep up with chucking it up with Peyton Manning. I doubt that Andy Reid and this Alex Smith-led team is going to want to get themselves in a passing shootout with Peyton Manning. I also believe that the Kansas City Chiefs are going to have the ball for much more of the game than the Denver Broncos are. I believe this because the Kansas City Chiefs are the only defense that are allowing less than 200 passing yards per game. When you mix that with the fact that Peyton Manning's arm is not as good as it was, I truly believe Peyton is not going to be able to find some of his big-name targets down the field because the Kansas City Chiefs are going to be in his face with pressure non-stop. I love the fact that this Kansas City offense is a top 5 rushing offense, and we're going to be dominating the time of possession in this game. I think that all those facts lead to a solid Kansas City Chiefs upset in prime time.
Yes, Jamal Charles will have a field day here as he pounds the ball and gets himself a couple touchdowns too. They don't want to put the ball in Peyton's hands. They want to really balance this game and take some time off the clock. Alex Smith will do what he always does, and that's his short passes. That's effective. He won't make any big mistakes. Andy Reid's going to have a great game plan here to shut down Peyton Manning. The best Peyton Manning can be shut down. The backfield for the Denver Broncos is all banged up. They don't have a solid set run game. Either on the road here in a tough Arrowhead environment, as it's been proven throughout the season that these Chiefs play really tough at home. It's as simple as that. And that's what you're going to get out of this. You're going to get a really grind game. And ultimately, at the end of the game, I think we're going to see these Kansas City Chiefs on top, so we're going to take those 3 points.
Yeah, as I said, when these Chiefs are getting points at home, they get the job done, win outright. They beat a great Seattle team. They beat a great New England team. I expect them to get the job done, beat a great Denver team on Sunday. Andy Reid are going to get the game plan together and lead us to victory. Take the 1.5 points here as the Chiefs give us an outright winner on prime time, 27-23 final. So that will wrap things up for this Week 13 card. Of course, we have been hot as hell here at Bookie Bashing. Could have picked losers if we tried to. Started this Week 13 card with 3 free winners on Thanksgiving. I hope you didn't miss that little bonus action for you. Some free pumpkin pie to top off that Thanksgiving feast. We had 3 easy victories. Going to build on this 3-0 Week 13 start with 5 more Sunday winners. We love this Sunday card. As we lead things off, headed to Heinz Field, Pittsburgh Steelers coming off the bye week, laying 4.5 points. They give us a double-digit victory at home against the New Orleans Saints, 34-20 final. Heading to Jacksonville, the first of 3 home underdog plays here, as we love the Jaguars, plus the 3 points in this odds-maker error. They give you an outright victory over the G-Men, 23-20 final. Taking it to Indy, laying 10 points against the depleted Redskins squad, who brings a backup quarterback in for RG3. Take the Colts here. That defense will excel. We're going to put up a bunch of points. Easy 34-13 victory in that one. Another home dog, Atlanta Falcons, plus 2. At home, they need a win here. I think they get that. Take a grasp on the weak NFC South as they give us an outright victory versus the Arizona Cardinals, 24-13 final. And you love the Kansas City Chiefs at home in Arrowhead. When they are getting points, they do nothing but give us outright winners. Getting 1.5, Denver Broncos come in. Andy Reid and company gets the job done, 27-23 final on Sunday night prime time. This season has been great so far, and it's going to continue to be great. If you've been waiting around, stop waiting. Get on these games. We're picking winners left and right. Haven't seen a losing week here in over a month and a half. I don't know what you're waiting for. If you are waiting, if you've been with us, continue to run. This thing is a marathon. It is not a sprint. Going to continue to make you money throughout this season and throughout the course of NBA and college basketball action. For my associates, my colleagues, Mr. Ace Berg, Mr. Joey Staxxx, hope you had a great Thanksgiving. As always, wishing you a great weekend. Continue to make money, and we will see you here next time at www.bookiebashingats.com.